Coming up on SUTV News, we'll let you know all about President Wyatt's new house.
And later, we'll talk about the SUU tailgate this past Saturday. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Cairo Cook.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. Southern Utah University provides students with endless opportunities to exercise what they learn through class discussion and real-world situations. Our reporter Emma Sorensen caught up with Mindy Benson's Communication 4600 class to see what opportunities they're taking advantage of.
Students at SUU are provided with many opportunities to enhance their education through real-world experiences. One of these opportunities is Mindy Benson's event planning class, where students are able to take part in planning and executing events such as Homecoming Week, the President's Gala, and the Christmas concert.
Forever Red was great. It was a lot more than I thought. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of people we had to contact and get a connection with. It was super awesome to be able to interact with all the bands, all the people that helped out, all the people that were a part of it. It was awesome. I really liked it.
Forever Red is one of the larger events these students are able to see through beginning to end. They experience delegating, stage managing, working with the bands, and visual communication. Mindy teaches the students the importance of leadership, organization, and communication, and always repeating her key phrase, "Nothing is a crisis."
I want them to see, even on our biggest event, that everything is possible and they just need to take it a piece at a time. And I want them to believe in their abilities, and they can when they are having practical experiences with our events.
Through lectures and discussions in class and real-world event planning opportunities, students in Mindy Benson's event planning class are ready and prepared to go out into the real world of event planning. For SUTV News, I'm Emma Sorensen.
The College of Humanities and Social Sciences reports that 100 donuts were eaten this afternoon at the Donuts with the Dean gathering. The legendary event attracted large crowds of HSS majors. The annual event is hosted by Dean Jean Boreen to create stronger bonds between students and college leadership. Students talk one-on-one with the dean and discuss what their goals are and where they want to go in life. The activity was considered a success, and plans are already being made to expand the event next year.
SUU President Scott Wyatt is in the process of moving into his newly renovated home. Our reporter Nathan Wiggins has the story.
After months of renovation, the SUU president's new home is finally completed. The house was opened up for a public tour immediately following the homecoming parade, and despite strong winds, hundreds of people showed up and were not disappointed.
It's a beautiful house, and I'm so excited for the president to have such a nice facility to stay in.
The home itself is a historic building, and the renovation was a difficult project. Those involved worked hard to make sure that every room was a good fit for the president and his family.
We had an architect that was working with us, and then an interior designer that I was able to tell what my style was, what the kind of colors I liked, and then they would just help me design it. So it was fun to see it go from what it started to what it is now.
The result of that work is stunning. The renovation began after President Wyatt announced earlier this year that his old home would be converted into a daycare, and that he and his family would be relocating to a different home near campus.
I think this house is a little bit smaller than his older house, but I think this is nice. Remodeling makes everything perfect.
While it is smaller than his previous house, the president's new home has 3 floors, which was a very large renovation task for the small crew assigned to work on it.
What is most amazing to me is our physical facilities crew. They've done the majority of the work here just in their spare time. So that's the main reason we wanted to host this open house, is not just to showcase the house, but to showcase the amazing work.
Having a home closer to campus means that now it will be easier than ever for President Wyatt to walk to work each day. For SUTV News, I'm Nathan Wiggins.
I was really excited about the President open house because I actually worked on the grounds crew that takes care of his property.
That's really cool.
So,
is that something you're going to be doing all year, or is that like just a summer gig?
I actually just finished it up. I worked there for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
So I've been there from the beginning to actually now of them prepping the yard for them, at least. And so there was a lot of projects that went into it.
So you were prepping the grounds and the lot, so the house could be built on top of it.
The house was already built. We just did the landscaping around
So you just did the groundwork and the prep work to make the renovation ready. Okay.
It was a really fun event for sure. Coming up, we'll talk about Bryan Head Fire Trails.
And later, an update on the international students soccer match. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
A trial date has been officially set regarding the 2017 Bryan Head fire. In 2017, a fire in Bryan Head burned roughly 70,000 acres, destroying 13 homes and forcing evacuations of around 150 people. Prosecutors allege that the fire was started when Robert Ray Lyman used a weed torch to create a fire break to protect his cabin. The trial process is set to begin December 17th. Lyman is charged with reckless burning and, if convicted, could serve a year in jail with a fine of $2,500. An additional charge of burning without a permit carries a 6-month sentence and a $1,000 fine.
International students of SU meet every week to play soccer and football. It's a way they've found to integrate with SU and get to know new people.
Some international students of SUU meet every Sunday to play football and soccer matches.
My name is Luc Verschuren. I'm from the Netherlands.
Okay, so my name is Yanis and I'm studying English, but then I want to do marketing after that.
I study sports communication.
I'm from France.
For them, practicing sports is a way of socializing, getting to know each other, and share a bit of their culture.
We're like with 20 or 30 people. We just play for fun for a few hours. It's fun to connect with the international students, getting to know them.
I met new people, so yeah.
They have been organizing these matches for a while now, and they plan on doing it until the end of the course. They can decide which sport they like better, but they try to play both every weekend.
I prefer American football because I like sport when there's contact, not like soccer. I like soccer and I prefer American sport.
Well, for me that's an easy question. I prefer soccer. I mean, I've been playing it for like 12 years. That's so long.
They have a good time while doing it, but they would like other people to join them to play these games. This is Ana and Carlota for SUTV.
Celebrations were at an all-time high this weekend in preparation for the homecoming game against Cal Poly. Our reporter Jeff Mullins has the story.
Homecoming week is upon us here at Southern Utah University, and there's only one thing on everyone's minds: the football tailgate. As the T-Birds prepared to take on Cal Poly for the final send-off of the homecoming celebrations, students were enjoying the many activities available before kickoff. Everything from art shows to free food, and even some relaxing games of cornhole were available to students at a variety of booths in the stadium parking lot.
We're just out here trying to get connected with students and honestly trying to give the students the best time that they possibly can out here at the tailgate.
One popular attraction at the event was the destruction of the Cal Poly themed vehicle. Students were invited to grab some safety glasses and a sledgehammer as they got to take a few swings at the car in hopes of bringing the T-Birds some luck in the big game. Despite the high winds that blew through the area, booths such as Thunder 91.1s were still able to set up thanks to the help of bungee cords and tape. Along with enjoying the many attractions at the tailgate, students also had the opportunity to learn more about the various organizations that hosted the activities, including the Latter-day Saints Student Association and the Presidential Ambassadors.
I mean, SUU is great with student involvement. I mean, students come out, when they hear there's an event, they're there. If they hear there's free food, they're there. I know I am.
Dude, it's freaking sweet. I always love coming and listening to the music. There's a good vibe. There's always good food. Got my chili here, so always happy.
All in all, everyone in attendance was able to get into the school spirit and get excited for the upcoming match. For SUTVNews, this is Jeff Mullins.
I mean, I guess it's kind of about time that they set the trial for the Brian Head fire, yeah.
And it's been coming. There were a few trials that got moved and adjusted because it just didn't work for the district courts. But given the fact that it was 2.5 years ago, you're right, it's about time.
It's about time. Damage is still being repaired.
Of course.
They're up the mountain. You can see basically half the mountain burnt from the top of the hills.
You can see the scarring.
And so 70,000 acres isn't very easy to replace, so I'm glad they're finally getting to it. How's the weather looking, Connor?
Looking sunny, but temperatures are starting to cool down. Don't go anywhere.
On average, I spend 8 hours a week on the road. It's important to me to make the right choices when I drive. And she's the reason why I support MAD.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Connor Sanders. So you can see the weather today a little chillier than we've been experiencing through the end of summer. 57 degrees outside right now. The high today only 63, and then the low tonight actually dipping into the 20s. It's going to be 29 degrees tonight when you go to bed. Make sure you bring out an extra comforter, maybe some sweats. Make sure you dress warm tonight because it's going to get pretty cold. So you can see tomorrow we're looking at a high of 68 degrees. And the low of 33, really big variance now that we get into fall. October 1st, fall is already here. And then on Thursday, high of 75 and the low of 43. So no real chance of precipitation over the next few days. Looking pretty dry, pretty sunny, but not as warm as we were experiencing even just a week or two ago, but still pretty comfortable. Temperatures in the high 60s and low 70s. So we look at the 10-day forecast here. Here we are on Tuesday, the 63-degree high and the 29-degree low. And then moving into next week, you can see we have 7 straight days of sun. Looking beautiful. Get outside because it's a perfect opportunity. 7 straight days, no rain, no clouds, nothing. So you can see Thursday at 75 and then Friday high of 74 and the low of 34. And then on the weekend, we have the high of 73 and 75 and lows of 38 and 39. So weekend starting to warm up a little bit. Even into early next week, we're looking at high 70s with a low of 44. Really starting to kind of warm up, even though we're getting into fall, so there's some cold days, there's some warm days. But overall, on the grand scheme of things, we're really starting to get colder and colder as the time goes on. You can even tell just by being outside, leaves are changing, starting to feel a little colder, the wind's starting to feel just a little more crisp. So make sure you're getting ready to dress warm because we're in October now and fall has arrived in full. But these sunny days are perfect to take advantage of the end of summer. 7 sunny days in a row is something that's pretty rare. So make sure you go and take advantage. And with that, we'll throw it back to the desk.
Thanks for the weather update, Connor. Really looking forward to the cool weather. We've been saying that the whole time.
Yeah, but just because we've been saying it doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to it. I really like the cold weather, seeing the leaves change colors. I just took a drive yesterday and went up to Dick's National Forest, and the leaves are already changing colors, and it's so beautiful up there. And driving up the highway, it's like, I live here.
Yeah.
I'm still here with awe every time I just go driving.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to Thanksgiving and the holidays coming up.
Here's a quick look what's coming up next in sports.
Coming up, we'll give you a recap of SU's homecoming football game last Saturday. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Connor Aist. SU football is back home on a windy Saturday night, looking to bounce back after a tough loss last weekend to South Dakota State. The Cal Poly Mustangs found themselves in a hostile environment to take on the T-Birds for the homecoming game right here in Eccles Coliseum. Cal Poly found a way to leave Cedar City with the win in a nail-biter of a game that came down to a missed SUU field goal. Both defenses were staunch to start the game, with the only points in the first quarter coming off a 36-yard field goal by the Mustangs. Early in the second quarter, Cal Poly quarterback Jalen Hamler scrambled for a 6-yard touchdown run to make it 10-0. A few minutes later, SU quarterback Chris Helbig rolled to his right and found freshman Zach Nelson across the middle, who found the end zone for a 24-yard score. After shutting down the triple option for the rest of the quarter, Hamler was able to go untouched for a Mustangs touchdown, helping his team to take a 17-7 lead into halftime. Late in the third quarter, a fumbled Mustang snap led to a recovery by SUU. Going straight into the 30-plus mile-per-hour wind, Chris Helbig hit Isaiah Diego Williams for a 30-yard pickup. Jay Green Jr. followed with a 20-yard touchdown run and his first game back to cut the lead to 17-13 with 2:43 left in the quarter. Plagued by fumbled snaps, the Mustangs made a change at quarterback and backup Jake Jeffrey hit J.J. Koski for their longest pass play of the game that set up a short TD run by Jeffrey to go up 24-13. SU responded on the very next possession as the Mustangs lost track of freshman John Mitchell and Helbig found him on a 56-yard bomb, followed by a 2-point conversion that cut the lead to 24-21. With 2 minutes left and facing a 4th and 4, the T-Birds missed a field goal and Cal Poly was able to bleed the clock and secure the win. The SUU defense had their best showing of the season, forcing 3 turnovers and only allowing Cal Poly to score 24 points. Nila Atukolo led the way with 17 total tackles. The defense will have another big opportunity as SUU will travel to Portland to play the Vikings of Portland State this Saturday. SU volleyball bounced back on Saturday and pulled out a big win against rival Weber State in 5 sets, marking the second year in a row that the T-Birds have beaten the Wildcats in Cedar City. Shannon Webb set a career high with 25 kills against the Wildcats, while Katie Montgomery and Reagan Ashby both had 5 blocks in the contest. Setter Alexis Averett made her return to the court after injuring her shoulder, but didn't set and slid into a defensive specialist role, picking up 15 digs between the 2 matches. Corinne Peterson had 84 assists between the 2 matches as well. The 8 and 6 T-Birds head to Sacramento to take on the Sacramento State Hornets on Thursday and then face off against Portland State on Saturday. For SUTV Sports, I'm Connor Aist. Back to you guys.
Thanks for the update, Connor. Coming up, our reporter Grace Conley will keep us up to date on the latest of campus happenings.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Hi, I'm Grace Conley with Campus Happenings. It's a busy week, T-Birds. It's business week, so the business school is putting on a lot of really fun events. But first, there'll be a study abroad fair tomorrow from 10 to 2 in the living room. Make sure to go out to that because you can win some awesome SUU swag and some scholarships. So go out and you can learn a lot about the new short-term programs that are coming up in the future. So yeah, make sure to go out to that. Business week this week makes it a busy week. There'll be the Accounting and Finance Fair tomorrow, October 2nd from 10 to 1 in the ballroom. Make sure to dress formal because there'll be a lot of employers there. So it's a good way to meet other business students and also maybe potential future employers. So go out to that. Next, the Entrepreneurship Student Showcase is in the business building from 11 to 1 tomorrow. There'll be free hot dogs and prize drawings. Students will be showcasing their businesses, so go out and support them and see what they have done. It'll be an inspiring event for sure. I know a lot of people are going, so it'll be a lot of fun. The Business Career Center is also having a grand opening, so go to that, support the business school, and that's all I have. Back to the desk.
Thanks for the update, Grace. The Southern Utah Museum of Art is currently holding a 2-week-long pop-up exhibition under the title A Very Big Tiny Art Show. The show features work from 26 different artists across Utah, with each piece of art being 3 inches by 3 inches or smaller. This is Cedar City's first art show of tiny art and is also the biggest tiny art show in Utah so far. The show began on September 27th and will be open to the public through October 12th.
So it's a ton of art. It's also super cute. You don't have to understand anything about art to enjoy it. Also, it's just like a new experience that you can have, and it's tiny, so yeah.
SU's theater department will present their final performance of Coriolanus on Friday, October 4th. The performance will be held in the Inglested Shakespeare Theater at 7:30 p.m. The play is one of Shakespeare's final tragedies and focuses on Coriolanus as he moves from war to politics. The play focuses on his struggle to be a successful politician as well as the alliances he makes along the way. Faculty and students will be able to see the performance for free, but tickets will also be available for anyone who wants to see the play. Adult tickets cost $10, alumni tickets are $8, and children can get in for $5. Tickets will be on sale either at the Event Center box office or online from su.edu/PVA.
Last week, SUU had alumni back on campus for the annual Homecoming Awards banquet. My co-anchor Cairo has the story.
On Thursday, September 26, Southern Utah University held its annual Homecoming Awards banquet. This year, the honorees were Julie Stewart Castle, who won the Outstanding Alumnus Award with her work as Chief Officer of the Best Friends Animal Society and her leadership in the no-kill movement in shelters across the country. Steve Schertz, who won the Distinguished Service Award for his 32 years of dedication to the music students of Cedar High School, and Timian Yoshimoto Godfrey, who won the Young Alumnus Award for her work as a medical practitioner and as the clinical assistant professor at the University of Arizona's College of Nursing. With so many amazing Thunderbirds here, President Scott L. Wyatt had this to say.
These are 3 super examples, but there's thousands every year that are doing awesome things, big and small.
The Homecoming Award Banquet Dinner is to recognize amazing alumnus of SUU to come back every year and show what they've been working on. SUU Student Body President Jeff Carr has this to say on the honorees.
Inspiring. It really just lets you know that when you go to SUU, you can go anywhere. And it's cool to see people that have done it. And I think that it's something that just really invigorates and helps all of us know that we've got big things coming for us.
I was lucky enough to catch up with Julie Stewart Castle and her feelings on SUU.
To be a part of this school and a part of the history and just the incredible education, it's fantastic. I'm so honored.
For more information, go to su.edu/homecoming. For SUTVNews, I'm Cairo Cook.
Edition of the University Journal hit newsstands across campus last week. Our reporter Connor Sanders has the story.
The idea of coming home is as old as written language. It's a theme prevalent at Southern Utah University, especially in late September when homecoming week arrives on campus. The writing staff of the University Journal set out to bring the theme of coming home to newsprint in their monthly magazine.
So the magazine takes about a month to put together. This first edition, when everyone is learning all the processes and order of operations, it takes a little longer, so we knew we had a little bit of extra time to figure out when exactly we wanted it to come out. And every year during homecoming, we always have tons and tons of faculty on campus who are asking for issues of the University Journal to take home.
The homecoming edition is the organization's first publication of 2019. 4 student editors contributed their first print article, an exciting but intimidating opportunity.
It was a little stressful for sure because we have a lot of deadlines to meet, and then also just like normal work going on.
Complications arose when the staff hired a new printing company to print the magazine.
They made a lot of promises to me that they decided not to keep. So the biggest problems were like the cut. So one of our magazines we got back was cut in half. Literally, that's how they gave it to us. And then there was bleed marks. It just was cut awkwardly. Just none about it was done professionally and to our standards.
So they asked for a reprint, which came back better, but is still marred with stains and drastic differences in color.
The content of the magazine is amazing. The stories, the articles we wrote are honestly the best we've ever written.
This edition highlights alumni president Scott Johnson, SUU football legend Matt Cannon, and rhetoric professor John Bell. Everything from the articles to the photo spreads are contributed by SUU students. Connor Sanders, reporting for SUU TV. Whatever a panning shot is but down.
Homecoming week was full of fun activities. I was lucky enough to go to most of them. I know you went to the parade.
Yeah, I did. It was a bit windy, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know that that's where they debuted, I guess. Or for the second time, I know they bring them out during the football game, but Mr. and Mrs. SUU.
Yes, they were waving to the crowd, throwing candy at the kids.
The pageants were a lot of fun. And I personally know Mr. SU, Jared Cooksey, and he is a really cool dude. Cool. So I'm really glad that he won.
Yeah, the football game. The football game was really fun as well. Heartbreaking loss at the end there, but.
Wow, that's all.
Just that missed
what we can
field goal
focus
really
on a little bit. Just that one little misfire, and it tends to
prove costly. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you need. You just need one miss, and everyone forgets all the good things.
Lucky shot, Cal Poly. That's all I have to say about it. It's a lot of lucky timing. Yeah. But homecoming was very successful. Thank you for all the event planners that did that.
Yeah,
I know
that was
we
so fun.
Had that nice little story on them showing like what really goes into the.
And I know at the football game we broke records of attendance. I think last year There are like 2,800 students in attendance. This year there were 3,200.
Yeah, about every year we tend to break it with not only students but also community members. Last year it was around 8,000. This year is about 9,000 as well. Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Kyle Cook.
I'm Connor Sanders.
I'm Grace Conley.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday.